Welcome to one of India's most astonishing hidden gems. This sacred place houses a powerful Shaktipeetha, 9 temples dedicated to God Shiva, and many more ancient shrines. Here, Goddess Shakti is shown in a fierce form seated on a corpse with a scorpion, frog, and lizard on her head. Because of her intense energy, an underground water tank was built around the temple, believed to cool the goddess's fiery presence. But there is a darker side to its history. In 1319 CE, the Bahmani Sultans destroyed much of this temple complex and built a graveyard and a mosque. Both these can still be seen inside the temple complex with broken Vigrahas scattered throughout. Sitting on the banks of the sacred river Tungabhadra, this entire complex is also surrounded by other historical temples like the Sangameshwara Swamy Temple, Papanashana Temple, Surya Narayana Swamy Temple, and many more. Are you ready to explore the mystery and the power of this ancient site? So let's begin then.
Okay guys, after 2 days of darshanam, now we are leaving Sri Shailam. We are going to see Jogulamba Devi in Alampuram. So let's go. Guys, now we are in the Kurnool bus. It will take at least 5 hours to reach. From there we have to go 12 kilometers more to reach Alampuram. The ticket price is $325 per person. Okay guys, after 6 hours of long journey, now we have reached to Kurnool, and from here we have to go to Alampur. Alampur is actually in Telangana state, so we have to come all the way the end side of the bus stand to get the bus to Alampur. So this is the bus to Alampur. So let's go. Hello guys, as part of the Shaktipeetha Yatra, now we have reached in Alampuram or Alampur, and here there are lots of amazing ancient temples with lots of history. So let's go and visit all these temples. Alampur or Alampuram is a small village in Telangana, exactly on the banks of the Tungabhadra River. Tungabhadra River you can see behind me. Also, this river and taking a bath in this river is considered very sacred. There is a ghat as well, like Kashi. On the banks of the Tungabhadra River, we can see a murti of Tungabhadra Devi as well. And right behind me is the Jogulamba Temple. It is one of the Ashtadasha Shaktipeethas. We can also see mentions about this temple in Shankaracharya's Ashtadasha Shaktipeetha Stotram. And also inside this temple we can see a Sri Yantra which placed by Sri Shankaracharya himself. This is the exact place where Goddess Sati's upper teeth fell. The name Jogulamba actually comes from Yogula Amma, which means the mother of yogis. Here, Goddess Shakti is not like the usual form what we see. She's in a very fierce form, seated on a corpse, and on her head we can see lizard, frog, and scorpion. Symbolizes transformation, destruction, and renewal. Because of her fierce energy, there's actually a water tank around this temple to cool down the goddess.
When we visited the temple at night, we were blessed to see the goddess's procession around the temple on a Ratha or chariot. It was a truly blissful experience. We could feel the tremendous energy here. Also, only once a year do devotees get to see the Nija Surubam or real form of goddess.
This temple and the temple complex were actually destroyed by Bahmani Sultans in 1390 CE, but later the Vijayanagara king Harihara Raya II fought back and rescued this area. That time, to protect the murti of the goddess, the devotees placed the murti inside a nearby temple called Balabrahmeshwara Temple's secret chamber. And after 600 years, in 2005, this temple was restored and the murti kept back to this original position. Also, you can see mentions of these temples in Skanda Puranam's Sri Shaila Khanda. And most amazingly, right in front of the Jogulamba Devi temple, we can see 9 more ancient God Shiva temples, which are known as Navabrahmeshwara temples. These current temple structures were built by Badami Chalukyas in 7th and 8th centuries, but the actual Garbhagriha and the Pradishta was done by God Brahma himself.
But here is where it gets mystical. There was a great saint in the 6th century called Rasa Siddha. It is said that he had the ability to turn base metals into gold. He was close to the Chalukya king Pulikesi II and helped to build these temples. As per inscriptions, the 9 temples are actually named after medicinal herbs which were part of his secret knowledge. Among these 9 temples, the Balabrahmeshwara temple is so unique. The Shivalingam here is Swayambhu, which means self-manifested. And most amazing thing is, it actually looks like a cow's foot. It is said that God Brahma himself performed penance here for thousands of years and God Shiva granted him the powers of creation. That is why God Shiva here is known as Brahmeshwara and the goddess as Jogulamba, another name of Goddess Shakti. And here is something even crazier. Ancient tantric texts say that if worship is done the right way, Mercury is said to ooze from Balabrahmeshwara Lingam, the thighs of Subramanya, the navel of Ganesha, and the mouth of Jogulamba Devi. This Mercury could then be turned into gold using medicinal herbs.
Now we are in front of one of the Navabrahmeshwara temples. This is called the Swarga Brahma temple. On the walls of the temple, we can see lots of beautiful carvings. Here we can see a carving, Lingodbhava God Shiva Murti. At the entrance we can see a small mandapam which has 8 pillars, beautifully carved pillars actually, and at the center of the mandapam we can see Nandi Bhagavan Murti as well. In front of the temple there is actually a huge Nandi Bhagavan Murti Vigraham, but unfortunately the head part of the Nandi Bhagavan Murti was destroyed by Bahmani Sultans. It is sad to see murtis like this. And most amazingly, we can see a Yogini Murti here in front of the Nandi Bhagwan Murti. It is exactly like the Murti in Kamakhya temple. Most of the carvings are broken. See, look at this here. Everything is broken. The hands are broken. The foot, legs, everything, the head part of this murti, everything is broken here. In front of the temple we can see 2 murtis of the Kshetrapalakas of God Shiva, Nanda, and opposite side we can see Sunanda as well. There are actually 3 Nandi Bhagwan Murtis in front of this temple. One is the huge one, partially destroyed, and the second one is in front of this temple, and third one is inside this temple. I will show you. This is the third Nandiji Murti. These temples' designs look exactly like the Badami Chalukya temples in Badami, Pattadakallu, Aiholi. If you have visited Aiholi, Pattadakallu, Badami, you can see the similarities with those temples and these temples. Amazingly, inside there is a huge Shivalingam which is in green color, and over the top we can see lotus styled roofings, and at the center we can see Nagabandhanam as well. And the most amazing thing about the Shivalinga inside this temple is it has a Brahma Sutram as well. So now let's do a parikramana of this temple and let's see how beautiful those carvings are. And also behind this Garbhagriha, we can see an amazing Murti of God Shiva here. See, look at the carvings, very beautiful carvings. Most of them are destroyed by Bahmani Sultans. Really sad to see like this. These temples are like architectural marvels, guys. If you have time, please visit these temples.
Now let's look at the saddest part of this temple's history. Next to the Swarga Brahmeshwara temple, there is a graveyard and a mosque. According to locals, these were built over ancient temples by Bahmani Sultans.
In ancient times, this used to be the main entrance of this temple complex. Behind me, you can see a dargah or a mosque as well here. That was the exact place of the ancient temples when Bahmani Sultans destroyed the temple, and over that they built a mosque here. From here, we can clearly see the mosque was built over the temple.
You can still see part of the temple Gopuram on the left side of the mosque. It is heartbreaking to see temples destroyed for a graveyard, but this was done by Bahmani Sultans, not the Muslims living here today. Please note, this video is not meant to create any conflicts. Locals say Muslims generally do not use this dargah or mosque because it lies inside the temple complex. They don't want to come inside the temple complex. They use other mosques nearby for their prayers. I think the government could easily solve this issue and rebuild the temple here without causing any problems.
On the left side of the ancient entrance, we can see another temple. This is called the Padma Brahmeshwara Temple. So let's go and visit this temple. This is actually the main entrance of the Padma Brahmeshwara Temple. Inside also we can see amazing Shivalingam which made out of emerald stone. It is called the Maragada Lingam. This was not the exact position of this Ganesha Bhagavan. It was recently placed here. This is also like this, recently placed. All the murtis are destroyed here. That's why it looks empty. Archaeological Survey of India rebuilt this temple actually. This was not the exact shape of the temple. See, look at this. This was not a floor. This was a pillar actually. Now they used for a floor. This is the third of the 9 Brahmeshwara temple. This is called the Taraga Brahmeshwara temple. It is comparatively smaller than the other Brahmeshwara temples. And unfortunately, there's no murti inside this temple. Guys, we can see a Kanji Kamakshi temple as well here. So let's go and visit this temple. On the roof, we can see three murtis, God Vishnu and God Shiva, and here God Brahma as well here. Now we are in front of one of the most important Nava Brahma temples. It is called the Bala Brahmeshwara temple. So let's go inside.
As we enter the temple, we see a huge Nandiji Murti facing the Garbhagriha. On the left side, there is a separate temple for the Saptamadrikas along with God Ganesha and Vigrahas of Navagrahas. In front of that, a small hidden temple containing a wonderful Vigraha of Goddess Jogulamba Devi. I believe that in ancient times, the goddess's original murti might have been kept inside this secret temple. Next to that, we see Daksha with goat's head, and beside him stands God Veerabhadra with weapons depicting the story of Dakshayaga. Opposite this, a small temple with murtis Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, and next to them are amazing murtis of God Kala Bhairava and God Ganesha. Walking further, we reach the main Garbhagriha of this temple, where there is a Swayambhu or self-manifested Shivalinga shaped like a cow's foot. By paying 50 rupees, you can even touch the Shivalinga. Around the Garbhagriha, there are many other deities. Outside, you'll find numerous ancient Shivalingas in different colors, shapes and sizes along with more deities.
Here we can see Mahishasura Mardini, Goddess Durga Devi. This is Dakshinamurti Bhagavan. On the walls and sitting areas, we can see lots of ancient carvings and scriptures. You can see an amazing Shivalinga. This is Sahasralinga, I think.
There is also a sacred tree in this compound. On the left side, there are temples dedicated to God Hanuman, God Rama, God Sita, God Lakshmana, God Vishnu and God Krishna.
In front of the temple, we can see a huge Dwajastampam as well in golden color. This is the temple's Gopuram. Also here we can see ancient inscriptions about this temple, which is in Telugu language. We can see 3 huge stones with inscriptions and carvings as well. Inside the mandapam there is a God Shiva temple as well. Also guys, in front of the Bala Brahmeshwara temple, there is a small temple. It's actually an underground temple. So let's go inside and pray. We have to go like this to this temple. Inside there is a beautiful Shiva Linga as well. Also in front of the Bala Brahmeshwara temple, we can see a Goshala as well. Also on the outer walls there are 2 temples, which is kind of underground temples here. So let's go and visit these God Shiva temples. It is little bit difficult to get down here. This is the first temple. Look at the carvings of the Shiva Linga. That is a bit unique from the normal Shiva Lingas. Also on the opposite side, I can see one more small temple with an amazing Shiva Linga. In front of the Bala Brahmeshwara temple, we can see a Naga Pradishtha as well. And behind the Naga Devada temple is the temple's main pond or Pushkarani. But unfortunately, this is not in a good condition. You can see fishes are dead inside. I don't know what is the reason, but it's not well maintained. And in front of the Pushkarani or temple tank, we can see amazing murtis of Bala Brahmeshwara or God Shiva and Adiparashakti or Jogulamba Devi. Now we have reached to the next temple. It is called the Kumara Brahmeshwara temple. It is very near to the Bala Brahmeshwara temple. One amazing thing about this temple is that in front of the temple or over that main temple wall, we can see 7 human faces. I'm not sure which are these 7 deities. First I thought it was Saptamadrigas, but Saptamadrigas are inside. Saptamadrigas. And inside we can see the amazing Shiva Linga. Next we are visiting is the Arka Brahmeshwara temple. And this is the Shiva Linga. Oh my god, it is glowing. Oh Namah Shivaya. Here also we can see ancient inscriptions. If you can read this, please translate and add it in the comments. Near to the Arka Brahmeshwara temple, we can see the amazing Veera Brahmeshwara temple. Here we can see Nandiji Murti. In front of that, there is an amazing Shiva Linga as well. Now we have reached in front of the Vishwa Brahmeshwara temple. In front of the temple also we can see carvings and murtis, but unfortunately all are damaged. So guys, this is the 9th temple. It is called the Garuda Brahmeshwara temple. Inside we can see an ancient Shiva Lingam. Here also we can see 8 faces, but it's not a human face, it's like tiger face. Behind this temple complex, there is an Archaeological Survey of India's museum as well. So let's go and see this museum. So in front of this Archaeological Survey of India museum, we can see an amazing Nagabandhana Murti. Wow, it looks so real. Near to this Archaeological Survey of India museum, we can see lots of broken murtis and Shivalingas. This God Surya Bhagwan, and Usha and Chaya. God Shiva, Mahishasura Mardini, see God Bhairava.
Hope you all enjoyed this video. Due to the time limit, I am uploading this video in 2 parts. In the next episode, we will be visiting amazing Sangameshwara Temple, the Papanashana Temple complex, and many more incredible temples. The second part will be uploaded very soon. See you in the next episode. Until then, Jai Shiva Shakti.